Yo, this is Emo-centric from Eternal Scene Rising, and I'm here with ATG, the lead singer of Discrepancies. How you doing, man?
Hey man, how's it going?
So how are you guys holding up with the lockdown and everything? Do you guys have any plans for that?
Mostly we're just practicing and trying to come up with a game plan on how to release all this new music we have. We got another single coming out here soon. We already dropped two, and right now we're prepping the third.
Can you talk about the third one a little bit? Do you guys have a planned release date or anything like that yet?
Um, no, I can't tell you the release date yet because I think we're still it isn't quite finalized yet, but soon.
And you guys just released Control, right?
Control, yeah, we have a song called Control and a song called Undertow out right now.
Yeah, so I was noticing in that video you guys have this Tony Hawk Guitar Hero kind of vibe to it. And in the intro to that video, you guys have a whole bunch of different goofy traits for each of the band members. Do you want to talk about that video a little bit? Maybe what inspired it, went behind the scenes, and maybe what inspired those goofy traits in the beginning?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I haven't even read all of them yet, all the traits and stuff that they put on there, but yeah. Our video guy Freddie put that together.
So I was looking through that a little bit, and I noticed that for Edison, you guys had pretty boy looks, and he was rated bad on his ability to be on time.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
And I think for you, they had crowd control, right?
Yeah. Funny, because I'm definitely always going to be 5 to 10 minutes late, but Addison is always like an hour to 2 hours late, like every single time. But yeah, I was happy that Freddie maxed out my crowd control. That was dope.
So you guys have been signed on to Invoke Records for since 2018, right?
Correct.
So what's it been like working with those guys? And I've noticed that since you guys have signed on with them, you guys have had a lot more videos coming out, and I think you might actually be the first rapper to have signed on with Invoke, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, might have been. That's wild. Yeah, man, I love working with those guys over there. I mean, they approached us a while back, and when we met up with them, because like we never work with anybody without like kind of meeting up with them face to face and getting to know them first. So like anybody that we've ever worked with, we've kind of always taken them to lunch or dinner or whatever it may be. But we just went up there and sat down with them, the team, and it just felt right because it didn't feel like we're your boss and this is the way it's gonna go, blah blah blah. It felt like we're a team. This is what I do. This is what she does. This is what he does, and just kind of like building on to your team and your brand to common goal of, you know what I mean, just doing bigger and better things.
Yeah. So I was noticing in the new video for Undertow, you guys have this rookie starting at the bottom and working his way to the top, and the song kind of plays a similar plot where you guys start off as a local band and rose your way to the top and all the struggles you faced along the way. Do you want to kind of talk about some of the struggles you faced when you're first jumping onto the scene, when you're first starting this band?
Some of the hardships? I mean, some of them, we still have to this day. Like, I'll say when we go out on the road sometimes, and a lot of times when I get up on stage and I'll start mic checking or something like that, some people will immediately like be uninterested or will even go so far as to get up and leave once they realize that the front man is a rapper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, just because of, you know, a lot of people don't really like the rap mixed in with the rock. But we tend to win those people over. And a lot of people come up to me after the show and they'll be like, man, like I really didn't know what to think when I heard you start rapping, but you guys like really blew us out of the water. So, I mean, that's one. Other things is just like trying to hustle and get on shows. We put together our own tour and just kind of self-funded everything and just drove out. We just went up and down the East Coast for like 2 months, booking gigs ourselves and just roughing it, man. Sleeping in the van. Just like, yeah, man. all of them are crashing at whoever's house we could at the time. You know, it's but a lot of that stuff we still do today. I mean, the grind never stops.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of bands think that if you have good music, you're just going to jump your way to the top. But I mean, it's a lot of hard work for
Oh
any
yeah,
band.
yeah. Unfortunately, talent and success don't really like just because you have the talent doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be the most successful or that you are the most successful. You know.
100%. And looking back on everything up to this point, is there anything that you would want to take back?
No, absolutely not, man. I love what we're doing. I love what we've done, and I am crazy excited for everybody to hear the new stuff, like of where we're going with it. You know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an adventure.
So, you just released a solo album, right?
Yeah, I released the solo album. Actually, it's been like a year or two now, but I now have physical copies available of that. But yeah, it's called Legacy, and it's on all platforms, Spotify, everything, under Antonio the Great. Yeah.
And one of the tracks you had on that album, Petty AF, you had Dub Flow on. I think that's the second time you've had Dub on one of your tracks, right?
Dub Flow is the homie, man. He hits the road with us a lot of times. He kind of plays as like kind of our hype man / crew. Me and Dub Flow have been making music together for years, for like probably coming on 9 to 10 years now. He's like one of my best friends.
So I've noticed that with you and Dub, your styles of rap mix together really well. Are you guys planning on having Dub Flow featured on any of your future records?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
He's a part of the crew. He's like an unofficial band member.
So if you could send back a message to one person who doubted you when you were first starting out, what would you say?
I'd send them Undertow. Absolutely, man. That's what that song was for. That's who it's for. Absolutely. There's a couple more on the record, too, for him.
If you had to kick one person out of the band, who would it be?
If I had to kick somebody out of the band.
And it can't be Dub Flow.
Man. Can't be done. I don't know, man. I can't really kick anybody out. This is my thing. Because I feel like the newest member is Zach, right? He was kind of giving me trouble the other day. He's been in our band for like 2 years, and he still didn't have my telephone number, which I just gave you. Like, he's like, man, I've been in this band for 2 years. Are you going to give me your number? And I'm like, one more year, buddy. Like, but no, man, I'm not kicking anybody out. I feel like when you start something with somebody, I'm not one to give up on that. I feel like, especially the core band, me, Garrett, and Addison, we've been here since the beginning, and I just love to see how much it's grown since then and where it can go. So yeah, long story short, Garrett, I kick him out. I'm kidding. We probably wouldn't even be a band if it wasn't for Garrett.
And you guys said in an interview with Splice a few years back that when you guys do shows, you like to create memories that fans can walk away with. Do you have any special show memories that you'd like to share?
Yeah, man. We've done. I can't. Probably the craziest memories would be of us on the road. I mean, of course, the hometown shows are always like the best. Those are like the most special. But it's just like we just have some weird and awesome encounters out on the road. Or like Warped Tour. During that last run of Warped Tour, the 4 shows we did. Well, like, we'll never forget that. That's like a memory we'll hold with us until the end of time, you know. Like, just from the heat, from how exhausting and how crazy that tour is, to all the love that we received and how we had to fight for our crowds, and how we partied afterwards. It's just like, I don't know, man. It's crazy. It was a really good time. Really good time.
If you could perform with any artist, like have them do a feature on one of your records, who would it be?
Any artist?
Yeah. Living or dead?
Ooh. Man, there's a lot of... There's so many. Like, do I get like a number, or just am I picking one person?
As many as you could fit into
Like,
one record.
one record?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, lately we've been really trying to. We want to get Tech-9 on an album, on a record. I think that'd be insane.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And since your last full album, you guys have released a lot of new singles. Are you guys working on a new record, and will those new singles be added to the record?
Yeah. We have an album that's finished right now. We're just kind of filtering out singles right now, getting those out there, and then to hopefully lead up to the album release.
Do you have an album title yet?
Yes. I don't think we can share it yet, but yes, we do.
All right.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people have commented that, like, when y'all do shows, that y'all tend to give out, like, demo CDs to fans and stuff like that. Do y'all still do that?
Not as heavily as we used to, but we do still have some if people ask for it. Because every once in a while, somebody will be like, "Hey, do you have any demos or anything like that?" We absolutely keep some of those on deck just in case, or if, like, maybe there's radio people there, or just certain people like that just want to hear a couple to see, you know what I mean? If it's radio friendly,
yeah,
then yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And for the new video for Undertow, what kind of went into the making of that, and did you guys come up with a storyline?
Actually, no. Our director, John, came up with the plot, which is crazy to me because it's like, well, it's not crazy, but this dude is amazing, this director. And he already had that plot. He's been sitting on that for like years. And it just, once he heard our song, it clicked. He was like, he finally had a song that fit in with what he was trying to do. So we just collaborated and knocked it out, man. And he's like one of the only people that I completely trust their vision, like 100%. I'm usually the idea guy when it comes to the videos that we do, and I like bring everything to the table, and I'll write out the whole plot and all this and that. And I'm very like picky as to what other ideas are brought to the table. But when John talks, like, I know it's gonna be amazing. Like, I trust him wholeheartedly. He kills it every time.
That video was really awesome too, though.
Thank you. Yeah, he also did Not Alone for us, which was I think it's sitting at like 2.7 million views right now on YouTube. Something crazy.
I've also noticed in a lot of your videos this kind of recurring skateboard theme. Do you or anybody else in the band skate, or?
I don't, but I know Addison and Garrett can skate. I don't know how often they skate or how well they can, but I know both of them skate. I don't think Zach skates.
And you were doing the ATG Solo project before you were working with Discrepancies, right?
Yeah, I was. I've been kind of writing and recording, but I was doing mixtapes beforehand. I never officially released anything. So I mean, I did a ton of writing before the band. That ended up actually, some of those older songs that I wrote ended up like on the record. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So I've noticed that a lot of people who are fans of your music, and not just the Discrepancies, but also your ATG Solo stuff, aren't typically fans of rap. What do you think separates you from other rappers that people like you and don't like them?
I think what turns people off of rap is mainstream rap. What they hear on the radio constantly, the music that's being like shoved down our throats. Everybody thinks that that's how rap sounds, like how all rap sounds, not really knowing that there's so many like different subgenres of rap, just like there is with rock, you know?
Yeah.
They just haven't really, dug deep beneath the surface to find the good stuff. You know what I mean? So typically, when people come up to me after shows, they tell me, "Hey, man, I'm not a fan of rap, but I really dig what you guys like. I dig what you guys do, and yada yada yada." I list them like some rappers that they might like. You know what I mean? Like some underground rappers, or maybe even some mainstream rappers that are actually, you know what I'm saying, doing kind of like the same style that I do.
And speaking of which, do you want to list off some of your favorite rappers that fans should check out if they like you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say my top five is like it like changes almost every day. Like not every day, but you know often. Like I would say, Jordan Lucas just made my top five. He kicked out Hobson in my fifth place. So I would say like first is probably it's kind of like a tie between Lupe Fiasco and Eminem, and then like Tech Nine, Royce the 5'9", Jordan Lucas. I really like NF, Hobson. Man, so many like Redman, Method Man. Gosh, Nas. I mean, the list goes on. My favorite rapper of all time is probably Tupac, though. That's my goat. Oh, and Chris Calico, too. Chris Calico.
So your song repertoire kind of comes across as an introduction, kind of like you're breaking onto the scene with this track. Do you want to kind of talk about what went into that one a little bit, maybe the story behind it?
Yeah, man, it's an oldie. It's repertoire, man. I like repertoire a lot because it was the first song on our EP that, like, the band came to me and was like, told me I had full control over that song. It's like, just rap about whatever you want to. This is kind of like your thing. Go crazy with it. So I had like complete freedom, and I was like, oh, absolutely. And like that was the product. So I don't know. I just kind of it's kind of braggy a little bit, but then it kind of reels you in at the end, and it gets real. You know what I mean? And that's still to this day one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, and that was actually, I think, one of your more aggressive rapping songs, to where you're more in your face than a lot of your other songs. Can we expect to see more of that in your face kind of rap in the future?
Oh, absolutely.
And for your video for Rock the Show, you guys had like a lot going on. I think you guys had the whole band dress up like, I guess, country hillbilly kind of thing for that one scene, right?
Yeah. You notice I stayed out of that.
Yeah. I think Addison pulled it off. Like, he was totally believable out of all of them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I like Dub's outfit, too, with the overall.
Yeah.
And the harmonica. Yeah.
And that Numchuck scene was pretty sick, too.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. We, for that one, we kind of like, we met up. It was kind of like a very last minute kind of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
We met up at a like a Waffle House type of place in the morning, early one morning, and we just wrote down. We all wrote down like crazy ideas like that, and just threw ideas out back and forth with our video guy Freddie. And then we're like, we want to do this. We want nunchucks. We want a dinosaur. Let's throw hot dogs at Steve. Like, like we just wrote down all this crazy stuff, and Freddie's looking at us like we're like, you know what I mean, like we're out of our minds. And the next day we just all met up and we did it. We made it happen.
That video was really sick, though. Like, you wouldn't think that it would be like that much going on that would be so cool, but it actually came out like.
Yeah. We just ended up like kind of having a party in the morning. I'm sure the neighbors loved it. Steve banging on his drums in his backyard.
So what typically goes into show prep for you guys?
I guess before the show, I'm kind of going over the set list in my head, writing it out. I usually write it out for all the guys, and then I'll set it down in front of them, or set it down on the stage wherever everyone going to be for the night. They tune. We just kind of, I go through and I'll try to make sure. One thing you really want to make sure you do is you're able to pronounce the name of the venue. That way, when you shout out the venue, that you're not saying it wrong, or even the city. You know what I mean?
You don't want to forget the name of the city you're in.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to forget the name of the city, so I'm cramming that in my head, making sure I got my lyrics down. I'll usually have my headphones in. I'll be sitting in the van, trying to make sure I get all my prep in. Addison will be doing his vocal warm-up, and I'm the merch guy, so I set up the merch table and get that all going. And yeah, we just kind of, then we hit the bar.
Speaking of the merch table, you guys have, like, since the beginning had a huge dedication to your fans. Do you want to talk about what's gone into that and what kind of stuff you're doing now?
Right now, we're trying to, we're working on some new merch items to kind of go along with the new single, the new singles. We're trying to figure out some ways to, with the pandemic going on, trying to figure out some ways to entertain our fans without being able to do shows right now.
So you talked about going to the bar after the shows. Do you have any crazy memories related to that? What happened last night kind of thing?
Oh, man. I mean, yes and no. I usually don't. I'm not a heavy drinker. So I don't really have anything that I don't remember. I know that we did a show out in, oh my God, I can't remember the name of the city, but we did this show and we were late to the venue. So we had to, like, literally as soon as we pulled up, we're rushing the instruments onto the stage and doing and performing right then and there. And this was like a 9-hour drive. So we've been on the road for 9 hours, and now we're rushing to get this equipment on the stage, and we perform. And there's actually an apartment above the venue that we're staying in for the night. And as soon as we get done, like we hang out with everybody for a little bit, and I run upstairs because I'm dead tired, and I go to sleep. Well, not the rest of the band. There's another band there. They just came from Australia, and these guys are up in this room, in this apartment, partying and taking shots and going crazy all night long. Like, while I'm trying to sleep, man. It was just like so crazy and so hectic, and most of them don't remember any of it. But like, I remember it. And I don't know, when I woke up early, probably like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I just see just bodies of band members everywhere, laid out, passed out, drunk. I started to like jump up and just start elbow dropping people. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of I like my sleep.
Yeah. So, in your new song Undertow, you talked about the snakes in the music industry a little bit. We have a lot of new bands on our site that are just like, starting up the projects. Do you have any advice you'd like to give to them about how to avoid snakes or how to spot them?
Man, I would say I was really talking about and aiming at critics because, man, they're going to give you a hard time, And what's crazy though about that is I spoke so much on critics, and I've gotten like nothing but love. We've gotten nothing but love for that song Undertow from all the sites and different media outlets. So it's like weird that I went so hard on critics and then all the critics are giving us love. But it's not always like that. You know what I'm saying? And you can't let that. Don't let these people get you down and like distract you from your goals and your dreams. Not everybody's gonna like what you're doing. Not everybody's gonna dig your style or whatever. That doesn't matter because there's people out there that will and people that do. focus on those people, focus on your goals, get it done.
And you deal with a lot of issues like depression or anxiety in your music. Do you have any advice for fans who might be going through something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, anxiety it's a hard one because, I get anxious and nervous before every single show. Still, I've been performing for a long time, and I still get nervous before every single show. But it's just trying to keep in mind what you came there to do. I would say, I always tell myself before I get on stage, before we show up to the venue, these people came here to have a good time. They didn't come here to judge you. They didn't come here to, boo you or anything crazy like that. Like, they've been working all week. They came to have fun and socialize. So keep that in mind. If you go on stage, even so what? If you mess up, so what? Laugh it off. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really matter. Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. You laugh it off, and you just have fun. And you just, I just joke with people on stage. If we mess up, whatever, let's just keep it going. Let's just roll. You got to roll with the punches, because the moment that they see that you're in your head and that you're upset on stage, then that energy, transfers to them, and, it's just bad vibes, you know what I mean? That energy just spreads.
Yeah.
But if you laugh and you smile and you joke and you have fun with your friends on stage, like, they're gonna do the exact same thing. They're gonna love. I don't love when we mess up, but when we mess up and you laugh it off and Garrett sucks, he messed that part up, whatever. Like, we laugh and we joke. They see that you're human and you're just like them. You know what I mean? Like, we're all, nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Like, we came here to have fun. We're gonna melt your face off. And as far as depression, man, that's just kind of like an everyday thing. I wish I had the remedies for that. But honestly, what I use is music. I listen to it and I write it, and that helps me every day.
So it's kind of like you said in Undertale. It's not about the fall; it's what happens when you get back up, right?
Oh, absolutely. You got to get back up. Like, everybody falls down. That doesn't matter. You gotta come up with a plan to get back up.
So, in a few of your songs, you've talked about racism and struggling with that. Do you want to talk about what issues you've had with that and how you've overcome them?
Yeah, I had plenty of issues of, racial type of thing. But sorry, my family just walked in.
No, that's no problem.
Yeah, I've had little stuff here and there, but St. Louis is like one of the most racially divided cities when it comes to geography, of where, let's say, North St. Louis is typically where more African Americans are, and it's just kind of been made this way to shift the races apart. It's really weird here in St. Louis, but I just like to I'm trying to focus on bringing us together. I can't. There's been so many different instances with racial injustices just with me personally, but I try not to harp on those things too much because, man, music is what I feel like it's just that international language that just brings us together. I've had people look at me crazy when I walk into the bar or whatever, but once I hit the stage and we perform, their faces change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they realize that I'm just the person that, and you know what I mean? It is what it is. The skin color doesn't matter, man. We're all here together to have fun. Let's do that. You know what I mean? Let's put that one minor difference aside because it's so goofy. It's so silly.